Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the S-51, the Tier 7 Soviet SPG. It's located on North Spawn of Tundra and it's under the command of Marybanks of REBRN. Now Mary's had some struggles with some of the other arties in the game, and she started to actually get medals with the M41. But it was only after a conversation I had the other day with other members of REBRN whilst they were streaming that I said that yes, you should use the stock gun on the S-51, the 152mm BR2 howitzer, which is the standard gun you get with the vehicle when you buy it. And it's much more effective than the 203mm B4 howitzer, the top gun. Even though that's got a big splash radius, the BR2 can do a lot of damage, very much like the M12 in its ability to do damage to the enemy. As you can see, she's tracked that A46 and she's picking up loads of assist, as well as the 146 hit points when she actually hit him. So she started off doing rather well. Now this Arty will do 700 alpha, penetrate 38mm of armour, and it's got a burst radius of 7.6 meters, so it's very similar in its capability to the M12. But she's stopped aiming at the hill now, and she's now aiming at an E-75TS who's moved along the western corridor. That's where the heavy tanks go. She's dialing in on this tank. She fires her first round in, gets a direct hit, 252 hit points. So you can see it is very effective, this Arty. Now the S-51 was made from a KV-1S hull, and they stuck the guns on top of it. In fact, they made numerous prototypes, but every time they put the guns onto the Arty, every time it fired, it shook them to pieces, and eventually they just gave up on it. They tried numerous ways to make it work, but they couldn't make it work in the end. But she got a lovely hit on the E-75TS again, another 252 hit points. And the E-75 has since been taken out. She's now going for a steel Waffenträger right down in the south, opposite the hill. Rounds out, direct hit. Oh, that was a penetrating one. Did 772 hit points of damage on the soft armor of that German tank destroyer. Now she saw a Scorpion briefly. That was the American Scorpion, but she's lost sight of him now, so she's picking a new target. And the one she's going for this time is a Lurva. Okay, she's loaded. Rounds out. Blind shot. She hits him. Direct hit on the Lurva. She's now selecting the T-28 prototype because the Lurva's gone unspotted. Oh, you can see the Lurva is missing, was that 13% of his health, so he's lost a lot. She definitely did some damage, and she's about to shoot again. Just lining it up, getting ready for him. Rounds out. Oh, it hit the rock face, just went long and hit the rock face behind the Lurva, but it still stunned him. And because he's stunned, she's picking up stun assist. Okay, she's getting ready for the next shot. It's a fast reload, 23.97 seconds, 24 seconds, near enough, which means that she can hit these guys again and again and again. Rounds out the Lurva. Another direct hit, 157 hit points this time, and the Lurva's been killed, so she picked up the rest of the stun assist. Well, there's 6 tanks up on the enemy at the moment, and a lot of it's down to really good shots, not just from Marybanks, but also from other players. But of course, Marybanks is stunning these enemy tanks, and that makes it easier for them to get kills. She lost sight of the Barrask as he was moving through that pass there, crossing over to the cabins, or the work camp I should say, part of the mining complex. She's now looking at the Challenger right down the south of the map. Our FE4202 comes up, she hits him. 349 hit points, and the FE4202 gets an easy kill. Scorpion's found again. That's the American Scorpion, the Tier 7 one. Very weak armor on that tank destroyer. Very weak. If she hits him, she'll more than likely wipe him out. She's lining up the shot. Rounds out. Oh, big hit. 320. Wasn't a penetrating shot, and that's unusual. It should have been, but it wasn't, because the Scorpion only really has enough armor to stop bullets. Not really much more than standard small arms, not machine gun bullets. They would probably go through as well. That Baraska's been found again, the guy who's in the work camp. He's moved over to the east side of the map again. And, well, now Mary's actually finding it hard to find targets to shoot at. So she's actually started moving to see if she can get better shots on them. At the moment, the nearest enemies are either the Barask in the south or the Su-122 at 44 on the west side of the map. And of course, there's still 2 Arty out there. There are 3 tanks up on the enemy. The enemy just got 1 kill. They killed the FB-402. But Marybanks is relocating, possibly to move south and help out her teammates. That MT-25 is looking pretty poorly. He's only got 5 hit points left. Took a bit of a pounding, I think, there. Now, she's actually moved over to the far east side, well, near the hill. And from this position, she might be able to get a shot on this Su-122-44. It's a very narrow arc of fire on this 152mm howitzer. But she's got to hope that if that guy is spotted, then she might be able to get a hit on him. Oh, unfortunately, the shell hit the rock face there, so she didn't get anything out of him. That Su-122-44 is still there, though. Okay, she's loaded, ready for another shell. The good thing about the S-51 is that you get 30 rounds to play with. With the M12, you only get 20. And yet they're near enough the same caliber and the same size as vehicle. Well, this is a KV-1S hull, so it's slightly bigger than the M3 hull that's used for the M12. But it's basically the same caliber. And we think there's a bit of Russian bias there, you see, because the M12 should carry the same number of shells as the S-51. Because you can actually run out of shells in the M12. You can't run out of shells with the S-51. So, yes, that's a bit of bias. The Su-122-44 has been wiped out. And here's the M25. MT-25 is on his side. That's why he wasn't moving. And that's why Marybanks came up here to right him. And, well, he's the right way up now and he's moving. Okay, that's great. That was really nice. She actually... I didn't realise that guy was on his side. I don't know if there was any messages in chat, but... anyway, Marybanks has done 2,248 hit points of damage so far, which is Unicom standard. And although she needs to keep away from those lookout spots, because if the Barask was looking, he might spot her and say, oh, I'll have that. But they're all closing in on the Barask now and the Arty. And she's hoping that the Arty will come in sight so she can get one of them. I think she might want to look in K4. Oh, they've both been spotted in K2. Okay, now, can she get a shot? No, unfortunately, that rock right in front of her is getting in the way. She could move over to where that tank is and push him off the cliff and then shoot, but she decided to back away. I suppose that's safer because at least the Barask won't see her. The Barask is out of his hiding place and he just killed our T-25-2. She can't get a shot on him at the moment because of the angle of the vehicle. She's actually pointing too far up to get the gun to lay on him. But she's getting ready to shoot. Rounds out. All close. The budgie is taken out. That Barask is the last enemy tank. He just rolled his tank, actually. And here's the MT-25, the tank that Marybanks righted. And he's about to come around the corner and find the MT-25 in front of him. And he may not be loaded. And the MT-25 kills him, which shows that Marybanks actually helped the team to win by getting the MT-25 back into the game. Very well played. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats and see how well Marybanks did. Oh, well, look at this. She's got a first-class tanker in this game. It's the first time she's had a first-class tanker in the S-51. She got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, she managed to get 11. And she got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on the team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And she hit 6 exactly. And she was the highest number of enemies that were struck by her team without a kill. Win 8 was 2,683, which is Unicum standard. And I always say this tank, if you can put out enough shells and hit enough enemy, you'll not only pick up a Confederate, you'll also rack up a sizable Win 8 score by doing a lot of damage. So let's have a look at the team score. Look at that. She got the second highest damage in the game. The Brass got a high caliber for 2,853 hit points. But Marybanks wasn't that far behind with 2,467. And of course that Confederate. And the next high score after that was the SU-12244 on the enemy team with 2,194 hit points. When it came to kills, it was in fact shared between the FD-4202 and the Barras, the guy who killed him. They both got 4 kills each, 2 kills for the Emil, the T-3485, and also for the SU-12244 and their Crusader SP. Everyone else I've got 1 kill or no kills, and Marybanks didn't get any kills, but remember, that actually helped her to get a Confederate medal. So yeah, I don't think she minds not getting any kills. She got a medal instead. And when it came to base XP, yep, she's top of the table. She was on the winning team. She was the best experience points out of that one. Tier 8 game, she was tier 7, so every tier 8 that she was hitting, she was earning more hit points and more XP. 968 base XP for her. 948 for the FB4202, the tier 8 companion. And 745 for the M4A3E2, the Sherman Jumbo. Marybanks fired 11 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits and 1 penetration on the enemy. Remember, that penetration was a very big hit on the steel Waffenträger. 8 splash damage as well, damage of 2,467 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. She damaged 6 of the enemy but didn't get a kill, but that gave her a medal. 952 hit points of stun assist off 9 stuns. On a premium count, she earned 48,491 credits, and after ammunition resupply, took away a profit of 36,171 credits. She received 1,452 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 3,630 for completing the mission events, and took away 6,534 experience points altogether. So there you go, Marybanks. You took a bit of my advice, and wow, what a result! You've actually scored a very nice medal, very nice game, lots of direct hits, and the highest XP in the game. Shows you do have the skill if you apply it, and you do have it, so well done. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thanks for watching.